Welcome to RAD Red. It's Michelle Barone and Ashleigh McPherson. What's up, Ash?
Seeds, I am so excited. We are finally doing a duo episode. I've been waiting for this.
Had a moment of clarity, and now I know that my time is now.
I had to. And duo, I mean, first of all, she called me Zeeds. Can we start there? Zeeds.
Guys,
so
I'm trying to unlearn.
So Ashley's my niece, if you don't know, and she's been pretending to be me, I think, for the last 18 Halloweens. How old are you again?
Actually, I was her for 7 years in a row. I was her for Halloween. She drew a big star on my face. I was her biggest fan, literally.
That's right. Mwah.
So now I get to do it with her.
That's right. And I think the stars are aligning. We're doing so much. We're going out together. We're out there in the world, and it's bigger than ever for me. And I think God just wanted to put us together to make this really happen.
I know. I feel like you were just waiting until I was a little bit older.
Yeah.
I just needed to be 21. Now we're full steam ahead.
Yep, absolutely. And going back to Zeeds. So you call me Zeeds. Zeedzy is like Zia in Italian. Mm-hmm. And every time we're in the office, Ashley's always like, "Hey, Zeeds." And I'm like, "My name's Michelle here. You actually have to call me that." So
it's so hard calling your family members by their name.
I know.
I don't know.
It is hard.
I'm unlearning. Sometimes we call her MB.
Yeah, MB.
I like MB.
Absolutely. I love it. And, MBM is awesome. That's our marketing company. We do work there, but primarily focus on the podcast and getting awesome influencers, content creators, and celebrities to you. So it's so much fun, and it's been such a great road. I think one of my favorite parts is the red carpet and kind of watching you develop there.
Yeah, honestly, it's really cool to see the actual red carpet. I feel like growing up, we always talked about one day we're going to do it, one day we're going to do it. And then we were in Vegas at Super Bowl, and I was like, we're literally doing it. We're on the red carpet together. We're taking pictures for Getty Images, Shutterstock. I'm like, this is literally crazy. And this is what we're doing on the weekends.
Exactly. And now all week, it's kind of since Super Bowl and the Maxim party and so much more, we have been getting phone calls off the hook. I can't even get my makeup done without 20 DMs. I'm like, "Gabby, save me. Where are you, Gabby?" She's my lifeline.
She is the best. She is saving all of us. We can't do without her.
Exactly. But I think just there's so much to come for us, and I'm so excited about it. And one thing that I've noticed while we're on the road is, you're totally a Gen Z, and I am definitely a millennial. There's
Absolutely.
a huge divide.
Absolutely. It definitely stands out, especially when we do things together and we're comparable. Everything, outfits especially.
Absolutely. When we go to get dressed, Gabby's kind of in the room. Gabby, by the way, shout out. She is our everything. I don't know what do we call her?
Our lifesaver. Yeah, I literally, Gabby does everything. She keeps us in line for sure.
She keeps us in line, helps us with scheduling and keeping us straight, Mm-hmm. But anyway, when we're getting dressed, she's like, "All right, so what are we thinking about for the next shoot? A week away." And I'm like, "Oh, well, here's what I'm going to wear." And then the day of, I come with everything different. And
Everything.
Ashley tries to match,
I try so hard, but I'm I can only pack so much. So I've just started bringing my entire wardrobe anywhere we go.
But I don't know if that's Gen Z versus millennial. I think that's just a me thing.
I think it is too. It's just, there's a difference. I think it's nightgowns and there's ripped jeans. We need to learn where the middle ground is. I think we're getting it.
Leather and sequins, you can always bet on that for me. I'm down.
Absolutely.
So I want to talk more about Gen V versus millennial. When I was little, I want to say little in high school. That was 3 seconds ago for you. But when I was younger and in high school, so many awesome things were in style, NSYNC and TLC. Do you know Lisa Left Eye Lopez? She was my girl.
I don't know who that is, but I've heard of NSYNC.
Yeah, NSYNC. All right,
Okay.
right?
Yeah, I'm
but
familiar.
There was just legacies with these people, and I mean, in 2000, when I was big, that's when Dre dropped his album, and that was the fire, and it's still hot to this day. I mean, I see it all over TikTok still to this day, and Eminem was big. I remember the day Biggie died. It was actually the day after my birthday, and that is so millennial. Mm-hmm. But only because Biggie's just, in every commercial that caters to us, it's always a Biggie song. That's just how it is,
That is so interesting. I mean, when I was in high school, it was Pop Smoke, we had Justin Bieber, we had Ariana Grande, Selena Gomez. That was more when I was in elementary school. Taylor Swift obviously is popping off now, but she was definitely still doing her thing when I was in high school as well.
But when you were in high school, it was yesterday. So these artists are still super relevant.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. What about pop culture? What fashion? I want to know more. What did you wear in high school? What'd you do?
I think, I don't know, when I was in high school, a lot of people were wearing like leggings and sweatshirts. Like no one really cares to like dress up
Really?
at school. Like people wear pajamas. I mean, I got best dressed in middle school and
Me
high
too.
school. See, look at us. So I was always dressing to impress. Dress down days were still my dress up days.
Me too.
I don't know. I feel like we've had a lot of trends like recycle when I was in school. So like oversized jeans, mom jeans, but everyone was still wearing the skinny jeans too.
Yeah, I've never worn a pair of mom jeans, even as a mom. Like I'm over that. I've never done it. I have to get into it, but I'm a dress girl all
All right,
day.
we're gonna try. We're gonna try.
Yeah, you gotta
It'll
help
look
me.
good. Yeah,
You think?
I'll help you.
I don't know if I could pull those off, but we'll
think
see.
you can. You
All
got it.
Well, when I was in high school, like actually middle school, overalls were a big thing. Everyone was wearing overalls with boxers. That was like the TLC vibe. Like everyone, all these girls would wear these big jeans. Tommy Hilfiger was super hot at the time, and you would wear like these big jeans and these like boxers coming out of your pants. It was crazy.
I feel like I've seen like pictures of people doing that.
But it looked good. I mean, I bought those jeans and my mom was like, "You are not wearing that." And I was like, "Oh yeah, I am. I'll put them on in the bathroom when I get to school."
Well, none of it's fresh off the boat from Italy, so I think it understands where the fashion might be a little bit different.
Yeah. And she
but
still wears these heels at 82 years old.
I can't believe it. Like no old lady I know wears heels like this woman. She cannot wear sneakers. Like
I know.
her feet will hurt if she wears sneakers.
I totally agree. It's like she has like a permanent heel foot. It's like narrow and just made for a heel.
I envy that.
Me too.
I wish I could say the same.
Me too. I only wear them when I'm sitting here and then I take them right off as soon as I'm done.
Little BTS.
You know, absolutely. So another thing that was different from when I was younger to when you were younger is dating. Dating
absolutely.
is different. I mean, there were no apps. I have never, ever been on a dating app.
I actually also can say that, but I know a lot of people in my generation cannot.
Wow.
But that's honestly, that had to have been really nice to not have to worry about like the social media aspect.
Yeah.
I feel like that's a big like strain on a lot of relationships these days.
I agree, because what you see on social media is just not real. Like I only show one sliver of my life, even myself. I show this part, I show the red, the red carpets, but I don't show my personal life because I've made that a conscious effort not to. You know, I want to keep my personal life personal. But I think that like a lot of celebrities and people do that, but there's a lot that goes behind the scene in the dating world. Like you said, like, do I want to date someone with that image? Because some people, even not most non-celebrities, have an image, a reputation online, and then they have a real one in real life.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I can't believe you've never been on a dating app. What?
I don't know. I just feel like the hookup culture these days, I'm like, I'm just not down for it. I'm like, when I meet someone and they don't like disturb my life and like I just come across them, I'm like, that'll be the one.
I totally
Like
agree.
until then, I'm not rushing.
We need somebody special for you. I will tell you, every time I post our shots or our podcast, I get 20 DMs. Is your niece single? How old is she? Can I meet her today? And I'm like, guys, listen, no one that DMs me
Yeah.
is dating my niece.
Yeah, no, I can
So don't
promise
DM me.
you. Yeah, no, she is not Cupid. She is not setting me up. I can promise. She's tried a million times and I've shut it down every time.
DM her.
Yeah, you can try.
Yeah, I mean, you
try,
can.
we'll see.
Actually, when we first started the podcast, one of the first bits we ever did was you kind of talking about your dating life. And you were like, I was like, let's go through your DMs. I think we should do that again.
Do you want to go through my DMs?
I do.
We can go through my
All
DMs.
right, all right, let's see. Gabs, you
All right,
got,
Gabby,
you
can I
got,
get
you
my
got the
phone?
phone there? She we told you
gosh.
Gabby's everything. So Ashley's, let's see what you got in there, Ashley.
All right, let's see what we got.
I can show you my DMs for you if you want. I can do that too.
Oh, gosh, she actually was scrolling through them the other day. All right,
I'm
what
like,
should I
I
do?
can't
Just
take these guys anymore. They're not even after me. What the hell is going on here?
I hope not. She's married. Guys.
Exactly.
Just
3
take it.
kids, totally happy. Don't DM.
Let's see. Don't DM. DMs closed.
DMs closed, not responding. Well, I can start reading mine. Hold on.
All right, let's hear yours first.
All right, let's see. Well, this is one from 2 days ago. Who is that? Is she your family? Damn, let me holler at her. That's a no. Let's see at the next one.
Let me holler at her.
Like, how old are
Damn,
you?
That's a way to a girl's heart.
That's definitely millennial, because no Gen
Yeah,
Z
no.
is saying that. I have some really interesting things I'd like to chat about. Your niece, Ashley, wink? No. Next. Is that your niece or your cousin? Doesn't matter. Can I have her number? No.
Oh gosh.
Is this like real? How is this my DMs?
I mean, some of them are boring. Don't even know what pickup line to use. To be honest, just knew I had to at least hit your DMs.
That's sweet. Is that like is that a tactic that's like not reality?
I mean, like, it's just like nothing to work with there. Like anyone that slides in asking my Snapchat, like that right there is like not gonna happen.
But why?
Like, because like I feel like we're like growing up now, like we don't really need to be like sitting on our phone like Snapchatting like every second. Like I still like Snapchat my friends, but like there's no need for like a relationship to like.
But how do you want to be like hit on? Like how, if a guy does want to come to you and you know you might be interested, you have to eventually date someone. So what would it be? What would the introduction look like to you that you'd actually respond to?
Preferably not my DMs.
Yeah.
It's happened in the past and hasn't aged well. So
you actually had a boyfriend from your DMs.
I did. Yeah.
And that was not a good guy. So
Yeah, no.
I'm not going there.
Yeah, no. He was in other people's DMs too, which we learned. So no more DMs. We're leaving the DMs in the past.
That's right. So
I don't know.
I mean, what if someone wants to meet you and that's the only way they can contact you?
Well, then they can try. And then if I'm interested, I'll respond.
All right. So you do want a DM. See, this is where, like, how are we doing this here?
Some of them are more just like, all right, this one says, this was when right after the queen died. They said the queen died. I had to come check up and see if you were okay. That one was pretty smooth, but I did receive 5 of them. So like after the second one, it was kind of like, all right, like not very original anymore. I've gotten like people sending like a soccer ball emoji or like a dog emoji, and it's like, sorry, like my dog walked over into your DMs, or like my ball went into your DMs, and I'm like,
yeah, come on,
we got to get better. You got to be creative. If you're creative and it's something funny, then I'll answer.
All right. So what was the one that the boy you dated? What'd they say?
Honestly, I literally like this just goes back on everything I said. I'm pretty sure he just said hey. Like I don't even think it was like anything crazy.
So what did you do? You looked at his profile. I was like, yeah, I could kick it with him. I mean, he lives in Hyde Park. He's all right. You know?
Yeah. Did not kick it with him for long.
I know, true.
Yeah, no. So no more haze. I think we're leaving the DMs in the past.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens. Maybe I'll meet someone
at an event.
On the carpet. Yeah.
Yeah, someone there. Okay, I like it. So going back to fashion, you know, there were so many differences, and I think like guys dress totally different too. Like when I was younger, if you wore tight jeans, you were like played out and not cool. Mm-hmm. And even using that term is millennial, right? You guys don't say played out anymore.
I mean, not really. I mean, we could bring it back. You know, things have a way of coming back, but that one hasn't made its way back yet.
And I mean, did you see any guy trends that you like that are different from then? I mean, you probably don't know what was there then, but
yeah, I don't really know what was like there then. I feel like now, especially like Gen Z, I feel like everyone's doing a different style though. I feel like a lot of people are testing out old styles. Like no one really cares to follow a trend. I mean, some people do, but there's a lot of people that do every trend. Yeah. Like I'm sure there's people that still wear things that like people wore in your time. Not to make it sound like you're old, but
now listen,
you know.
I'm okay with being, I like right where I am in life.
Yeah,
I'm happy.
You're good.
But leather jackets, I mean, those were big in the 70s. And like, if you wore that when I was growing up in 2000, you were like not cool at all.
Really?
Oh, like totally not like
the Letterman jackets. Like
you couldn't even get
team?
one of those. They were nowhere to be found.
But like if you were on a football team, like you didn't get one?
Never. No.
I thought that was like the thing. Like if you had like you were like the coolest in school.
No, like if you had like what is the thing they wear today with the thing on the back? A mullet.
How was I supposed to guess that was a mullet? The thing that they wear with the thing on the back? I thought you were talking about like a hat, not hair.
If you had a mullet in 2000, so you needed to go back to the 70s.
That's so fun. Well, now everyone's got one.
I know. And now it's like cool again. I still look at it and like, just because I'm from like the millennial time, and my kids have them and everything, but I just can't picture like being attracted to a guy that has a mullet. I can't do it. Because it wasn't like, it makes me old, but it's true.
Well, I mean, it is like definitely with the times. Thank God Danny does not have a mullet. But I mean, it definitely is like the trend. I don't know, like, I feel like every guy has a different haircut too, though. Like mullet is like a trend, but not every guy's doing it.
Yeah, true. You know? But the guys that like are into fashion and like staying on trend are the type of guys like.
It doesn't look bad.
No, it doesn't look bad, but like I see your brother's, he's got like the curly thing and it's cool.
Oh, yeah. He's got a good one going. He's been working on it.
It's a whole like finesse, you know, like. But then I see like my kids and it looks cute on little kid, but like a 45-year-old dad, like.
Yeah, all right.
I don't know if I can handle it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
All right, I'm picking up what you put it down.
You got me. But the Letterman jackets I love, and they're so cute. And I'm sad they weren't like big in my day. You know?
I mean, I kind of like assumed like in high school, I was like, oh my God, like everyone's gonna like that's like what it's gonna be like in high school. Like the football players wear like the jacket, whatever. the high school we went to was not like that. It was a small school. Like there is no like half the football team is half your grade. You know,
correct.
like
Everyone makes the team.
Exactly.
And the top 5 play.
literally, literally. That is so true.
It's true. So we both went to the same school, SPAC and Kale. Shout out. We love
Shout
you,
out SPAC, Spartans for life.
Spartans for life. SPAC was the best ever. I just felt like, you know, yeah, it was a small school. We had about 100 people in our graduating class. And I just felt like it was such a great place for us to all be winners. Like there's everyone that I graduate is super successful. Like everyone I graduated with is super successful. So much fun and like doing them in life and all in different paths and all over the world. But I love that I had such a great pool of people to grow up with that I'm still really good friends with.
Yeah.
And that we all like still work together, whether it's business or just relationships. Like you can count on each other because you knew everything about each other growing up.
Yeah, that's true.
You know?
I definitely agree. I mean, I did want, like when I was in high school and I was growing up, I did want like the big school aspect, like always having new kids come to school. But like now thinking about it, like I'm so thankful like we were with such like a tight knit group of people for so long because like you learned how to like grow up with everyone that you knew for like forever. I was best friends with everyone in the school. Like I loved that. Like I knew everyone. So honestly, like now I'm like, I like that better.
Yeah, I
Like-
agree. And like even when I went to college, I wanted to go to a big school, but it wound up at Iona, a smaller school, and then transferred to Marist, which was awesome. I came back home and I just met so many great people from Long Island and all over the place. But I felt like, you know, just having that small school experience like made you a natural born leader. And you
Yeah.
weren't scared to do things because you've already done it all in front of all your peers and
Yeah.
they've already made fun of you. So there's something else that you could do that's like, you know, oh,
Yeah.
I've already heard that 500 times. Like,
Yeah, I definitely agree. I feel like being at a small school, you get more opportunity and more chances, and that
Yeah.
definitely does boost your confidence. Like going out into the real world, knowing like you've made it once. You know,
Right.
I feel like it definitely can be disappointing being in a big school and having such big competition.
Yeah.
It definitely can lower your confidence, especially at like such a specific time, like in your like growing up years. Like
Yeah.
that's when you're like learning to be who you are and like your confidence.
no, absolutely. And I'm sure there's great things about big schools too and like finding your group, but SPAC was just an awesome experience. The teachers there cared so much. There was a lot of one-on-one attention. You were able to be a star in anything you wanted, whether it was football or acting or music or whatever. And that was one thing that I loved. And you know what? It's always hard for moms out there to make the decision of where to send your kid to school and what resources are available to you particularly. But I enjoyed a small school experience.
So did I.
My kids are loving it too.
Yeah.
So let's chat a little bit about some devices. Okay. Devices are huge. Everyone in the world has this, the Samsung or the rest, right? I mean,
Got mine.
exactly. So I just want to know, like, what were the devices like when you were in high school? I mean, same thing, right?
I mean, honestly, it's probably a lot different from when you were in school, though. When I was in school, we were in middle school, we were already getting like computers given to us by the school to take home and like
Yep.
do all of our schoolwork on. A lot of school was like brought online. I mean, I graduated in 2020, so it was COVID. So our entire half of our senior year was online. So that was definitely completely different. I'm sure like do you guys have any electronics at school?
Yeah, we did. We had a pager.
Okay.
And you could write 143, which means I love you. Did you know that?
Cute. I didn't really understand like the concept of pagers, like how they worked. Like you'd send something to someone.
Well, you could only send you'd have to go to a payphone first of all, or
Okay.
do it from your house phone. So you go to your house phone and you would type in the person's number and then type in your message. And messages were coded with numbers because you're using a phone, like a
Yeah.
dial phone. So you could say like hi or come home with like using touch 2, touch 5, right?
Okay.
Or you could just say like 143, or like there was codes to come home that you and your family had, or like if you want to tell your boyfriend I love you, it'd be 143. Like, but you actually spent a quarter to do that.
So call me crazy, but this is sounding like a more difficult concept than the phones we have now.
Oh, well, that's why technology has gotten to the point it's at. But yeah, I mean,
I guess it just seems like that's like the whole process to come up with and be like, you have to put a quarter in. I thought it was like a little thing you had.
it is. You put a quarter. You
What is
have
it, just like a little screen?
it's a little screen like this, and it had a little screen on it. It was like maybe like this big, and you had a little screen on it, and you would say like 143 if you had a boyfriend. There was a bunch of codes, maybe like 100 more, like whatever you came up with.
Okay.
But there were like universal codes too, so you could type in different things for you and your best friends.
Oh, that's cute. All right.
Yeah, like
all
you
right.
have your 224, you could write that, and
Oh, cute. Okay.
but the thing that happened was it was a very short period of time where you had pagers, and I loved it because you just felt special. and it made you think afterwards. And I thought about this later in life, but it wasn't like, oh, hey, how are you? What are we doing today? And, oh, can you pick up the kids?
It was
Can
more
you?
purposeful.
Yeah, it was like, oh, he loves me right now. And I'm like pondering that thought.
Oh, that's
And
cute.
it was like an hour or 2 or 3 or 10 or 20 before we could even talk.
Yeah.
So it was like the last time we talked, he loved me kind of thing.
That's
Or the
really
last time we
cute.
talked, my best friend hated me. And you'd have to sit through that for so like.
Oh, geez, that would
It was-
stress me out.
It was crazy. There was no instant gratification and communication, and that was the biggest challenge. But then the cell phone came out. First phone I had was a Motorola. It was like a one-piece phone, right? And then the flip phone was the coolest thing after that. But, you know, it was like $39, and you could talk anywhere. That was like game-changing. I remember the first time I had a cell phone call outside of my house. It was at Mandy. I was working. I was on break, and I called my mother, and I was like, this is awesome.
That is so funny.
Yeah.
Honestly, you're going to think this is crazy, but one time we went out to New York City and I lost my phone in New York City.
I remember.
And I couldn't get a phone for 3 days because it was the weekend. So me and my friends all got flip phones. So now every time me and my friends go out, we just take flip phones out with us instead. And honestly, it makes the night so much more fun because like you can't post anything. Like you were literally living in the moment, like taking pictures, but like you can't see it until like you look at it the next day.
That's good.
Honestly, like it's kind of nice to like detach a little bit.
Yeah.
But you know,
Oh, there was
I'm an
complete
iPhone girl.
detachment then.
Yeah.
But the best part I think about it was just like, it was like real interactions. And, you know, now like I don't mind technology. I like advances. A lot of parents are totally against it for their kids and this and that. I feel like my kids need to embrace a world of realism, and we all deal with technology. I think you should limit it and have your own parental guidance. But I also think that it's important for them to adapt to society and reality and norms, right?
Yeah, definitely. Especially
So-
like explore their creativity. Like there's so many
Yep.
kids like embracing like who they really are on the
Yeah.
internet that like they're scared to at school. Like it is
Exactly.
intimidating like going to school and like I was terrified being in school and like posting on YouTube. I was like, oh my God, everyone's gonna judge me. But now I'm like, I do not care what people think about me. But like, especially at that time, it's nice to have the internet to like fall back on.
Right.
Like I was posted on TikTok, but I wasn't telling anyone at school.
Yeah,
You know? So it's
absolutely.
nice to be able to like have your like own personality outside of like who you are in school.
All right. This is going to be the biggest Gen Z versus millennial drop right now. Ready?
Okay.
There was no social media.
Until how old were you?
I was like 22. I was 19 when Facebook came out. Facebook came out like a year before that, but it wasn't available to anybody. It was like on Harvard's campus. I was in college at Iona, freshman year. I was 18 actually. And January that year, it started being available to like colleges, and you could do like the hot or not thing. So it's like, is this girl hot? Is she not? And all the girls were like, did I get on the list? Like, I don't even care if I'm not hot. I just want to know if I'm like on there,
Yeah.
you know? So I remember looking, our school never even made it. It was a small school.
Yeah.
None of the girls
Yeah.
in our school were on it. But about 3 months later, you could start to actually friend people, and it became like the wall you now know, like the wall you know today, right? So, well, not today, but what was then, and it's changed. But then MySpace came up, and then YouTube came out, and then Facebook came back, even bigger than MySpace. It was just this whole evolution. But when I first saw Facebook, I wanted nothing to do with it. I said, this is ridiculous. Like all my friends were like, oh, we put something on your wall. And I'm like, guys, I am not wasting my time with that. I want to make money. I want to go do something big. Then the next year,
Yeah, here we are today.
the Facebook kind of died down that summer. I come back to school in September. I'm talking to my friend. She says to me, oh my God, I packed this place over the summer. I made $5,000 packing a place over the summer through a Facebook invite. And I have a code where I can invite 100,000 people. I was like, let's do it. How? I was like, all right, I love Facebook. Let's go. I realized like I could like capitalize on it.
businesswoman in you, yeah.
And I was like, done. And from that second on, that conversation, I remember specifically where I was, what happened. From that conversation on, I was in. I was like totally vested and had to figure out how to always stay on top. And for 20 years, it's been a complete, you know, hustle. And now this is the first time I've delved into YouTube as well. And the show's on YouTube. And I've always wanted to do it, but never really had a concept. We kind of did The Good Life back in the day.
Oh yeah, we got some videos out there still. We
Yeah.
vlogged like everything we did as a family, high school.
Yeah.
So that's out there somewhere
We
on
have,
the interweb.
we have some of that. But I think now it's like taking it to that next level that we always wanted to, and being fearless and being those women that inspire other women and content creators and influencers to tell their stories.
Yeah, absolutely.
So Ashley, this is so exciting to do with you. I love it.
See, this is so fun. We got to chat, we got to hang out, got to figure out what it was like growing up.
I know, right?
Times were tough. Times were tough.
Times were tough. I mean, simple times to like these more extravagant times, but you know.
Now we're doing it together.
Now we're doing it together. So you can find me at Michelle Barone online. Check it out.
You guys can find me at Ash McPherson, 2 H's on all socials.
Yes. See you soon.
Bye.
Had a